let me address the first question that you asked as to why are so many single parents leaving. There are a myriad of options available today that didn't used to be available. I mean, you got married, you had sex one time on the farm, and you went to a shotgun wedding if you got the girl pregnant. That used to be the case, and there used to be social enforcement of the marriage, and it used to be shameful to get a divorce, and couples would stick it out because they had to raise the kids. When the government comes in and incentivizes, through welfare programs, and you were talking about the social safety net, they, with welfare programs, they're actually incentivizing the parents to leave, which is why the Black family, single parent family took off after it was introduced. Unfortunately, the welfare for the single mother, yeah, we'll support you. That means that the father can leave knowing that the government will take care of his children. I don't think that that's a good incentive. I believe that if you know the incentives, you can predict the result that you're going to get. So, let me stop there and you can say something, because otherwise I'll go on.
Yeah. So you're kind of arguing that by providing welfare to poor people, that is causing one of the parents to leave?
Well, I'm not inferring it. I'm not suggesting it. I am stating it as a fact. It is an incentive. If I have more kids, then I'm going to get more welfare. For some people, unfortunately, that is a huge incentive. If I get knocked up a girl, and and I think to myself, you know what? I want to go out. I want to sow my wild oats. I want to travel. As I mentioned, I've been around the world, 60 countries in all my existence. So I've done a lot of traveling. I know what it's like to have that feeling of just wanting to roam. And if I think, oh, I knocked her up, but the government will handle it, if the government will help pay for it, and I don't have to worry about the responsibility, yeah, for a certain percentage of people, not very high, but for a certain percentage of people, that is an incentive not to stick around. And just take a look at the results. You introduce the welfare programs, suddenly the family bond, the conservative values that used to bond people together are broken because the incentives have changed. And I believe that COVID has shown us that this is what most people want to do. They want to sit around, they want to play video games and do as little work as possible. So when you don't have that fire at your feet that is forcing you to go out there and work, and I'm not saying that it's always comfortable and that's not something that everybody want, but I understand the value of a social safety net to some degree. If you really are on hard times, then it's good to have. But when you're incentivizing people not to work, and when you're sending them checks in the mail without doing absolutely nothing, who's going to take that offer? Who's not going to take it?
So my question is, what percentage of single family homes do you think it is the case where the father left specifically because they didn't have to, because they thought that the state would take care of them?
Well, I can tell you this. There was a senator, I believe he was, Moynihan, who in the 1960s stated that there was an epidemic around Black families because 24% of them came from single families. And he said that this was a tremendous epidemic that would reap horrible that would undermine the social fabric. Today, we have 72%. So if you can come up with a better explanation, then I'm sure it's not the only contributing factor, is the fact that we've incentivized the wife to marry the state versus the husband. I'm all ears, because I'm sure that there are other contributing factors, but I assure you, in my belief, that this is one of the major ones.
So you think this is probably more than half of the single family homes are because of this?
I said that there are a certain percentage, and I would not think that it would be low, that have been incentivized by the government because they've said that we're going to take care of you and we're going to give your babies a different life, which changes the incentives of the mother, because she can think to herself, well, I'm going to have more babies. I'm just going to get more money from the government. Once you're down that road and you can say, I don't care, knock me up again, I'll just get more money from the government, which is what some people, I guarantee, do. I'm not saying it's a lot, but if you take a look at the number of children, if you have 5, 6 children in that state versus somebody else who has 2, suddenly you have if in that incredibly small sample size, suddenly you have 75%, 6 out of 8 of the kids are from a single parent. So I'm saying that it incentivizes it, and incentivizes it the wrong way, and the wrong people probably have more children because of it.
What percentage of those single family homes, do you think have fathers who are incarcerated? Or a parent incarcerated, because moms can get incarcerated
The
too.
interesting question is, were they incarcerated when they left the mother? I think that that is a distinction
good
that is
point.
worth making.
That's a good point.
It might, they might get incarcerated years later, and that would be included in the statistic. And I don't think that's a fair statistic because they've already left the family.